As Bob with Imagineless Photography, doing another video on my stuff. My other ones were on little things. This isn't about a little thing. This is actually a pretty big thing. It's about a lighting system. And I've been a Canon shooter for years and years and years and years and years, back to dinosaur days and film. And I no longer use Canon flashes. And it's partly because I tried out one of the inexpensive Chinese flashes. I bought a Goddix flash and went, hey, this thing works pretty darn good. And the built-in radio system works good. And so I bought a couple of them, because you can buy about 3 of these for the same price as a Canon EX600. And got to really liking them. But what I've learned is, instead of buying Goddix, to buy the exact same flash, but in the Flashpoint brand, which is Adorama's brand. And the reason why is, when one breaks, if it's still under warranty, they take care of you, whereas dealing with the folks in China is almost impossible. They make a great flash, but customer service is difficult halfway around the world. And of course, Adorama up in New York, I've used them for 30 plus years, and they've always taken very good care of me, as well as several other large camera companies up there. But today I'm talking about Flashpoint Adorama system. So the other reason is, like I said, this is equivalent to the Canon 580 or 600 flash as far as power usage, TTL, high-speed sync, rear shutter, all the normal things you get with it on camera flash. But where they go way superior to what Canon has is these guys. A 200 watt second, really nice small flash, a 600 watt second TTL flash that uses the same radio system. So from an on-camera flash, you can control other on-camera flashes like this, a 200 watt second flash, a 600 watt second flash. And I guess I should have drug out my other, these are all TTL. I have a non-TTL flash that I probably should have drug out too. I might grab it in a moment. So I can control and fire that too. Woo! I just lost my diffuser. And by the way, I like these little Stofine diffusers and all the off-brands. And this is an off-brand, not a Stofine, which is why it fell off, because it's actually cracked. So I probably should spend another $10 and get another one of those. And as you can see from all my other of the on-camera, I keep those on. And of course, if you're out in bright sun, take it off so you can get all the power you can out of these guys. And the other great thing about these flashes, so the on-camera ones, you can buy them in 2 different versions. One with AA batteries, and the other with a really big lithium-ion battery. Look at the size of that thing. Out of the focus. There, woohoo. So this flash, you get like 1,000 flashes. Big weddings with receptions and everything. Rarely have to change out my battery on my flash. Some bigger weddings I do, especially when they're outside, because you're pushing full power. But as I said for my other video, I keep plenty of batteries and bring extras with me, so it's not a big deal. Plus, if I'm using multiple of these, they all use the same battery, so if you go down on one, so be it. With the 200 watt second flashes, also have a really big lithium-ion battery. And again, I don't think I've ever actually had to swap one of these out. Because again, the 200 watt, if I'm shooting a wedding, I'm probably not using it all the time, like I might for whatever camera's or whatever flash is on my camera. So I really have never run out of battery power on these guys. And of course my mantra with everything is 2 of everything. You also have 2 different type of controllers that they offer. So this style, you can do most things as far as setting up your channels, having TTL or manual and all the settings, or they have a more sophisticated one. So sometimes with weddings I'm using this guy and I'll have multiple flashes setting up and I can turn them on, off, up, down, TTL, manual, everything from right on camera. It's pretty easy to use. There's plenty of videos on how to use everything on YouTube. Go watch one of them if you want to learn how to exactly use any of one of these things. But I very much like them. And of course, everything is always firmware updatable. But do watch out. I don't know if you can see on these guys. Get my face up here so it focuses a little better. You'll note that I've got some Sharpie writing on it. You know, face detect when you're not getting a face. Let me touch the camera so it focuses on it. I got some Sharpie markings. The latest firmware update on these guys, yeah, lets it work with my M3 and everything, but I lost rear curtain control on that, so I've had 2 of them from whatever sets I've got. Again, 2 of everything. So I have one with the older firmware, which still allows me to go rear curtain sync with this guy. And I do that because some of the weddings I shoot have fireworks at the end of them, and you pretty much need rear curtain to get good stuff on that. So that's one thing to be aware, and who knows, next week they'll put out a new firmware that'll fix that. Just like everything. This last monster here, the 600 watt second TTL, and again, big battery, so you can be totally remote. You don't got to plug in, and you got, you know, full high power studio power with this guy. Standard Bowens mount on it, so you can put whatever accessories, softbox, beauty dish, whatever pops your fancy. And I usually keep in the case. I've got some grids in it, because that's often fun to throw a grid on. And then also on these 200 watt second ones, they also come with plenty of accessories, and you actually get 2 different type of light heads. So you get a bare bulb that you can put other accessories on, such as a nice little grid or small reflector, or kind of omnidirectional. I'm not going to drag this out, but this is a nice small beauty dish. So there's lots of accessories they have on this 200 watt second head, and also keep it just a diffused. Then you've got a small, and this is like the Mad Mod system where you've got gels and a small grid. So lots of different options you can have with that. It also has a plain LED, continuous light, and that's come in handy sometimes when I've been in dark places, and if you just need a light to see, or I have used it for video, filling in light in an area. And again, the other head, and again, the heads pop off on these guys, so you can swap from the beer bulb to your more normal. I think this is a 35 millimeter equivalent spread. So these are extremely versatile, and their prices are great. Again, I'll put links to all this gear below. I'll be Amazon affiliate links, so If you buy one, great for me. Otherwise, I'm just doing this to get the information out. Please feel free to get any comments. And I want to try to keep doing more of these videos now and then when I have time. And we'll see what happens. Comment if anybody wants to know anything else about my craziness and the way I do things. I never say I do things right, but I get the job done. Again, Bob from Imagine This Photography. Talk to you later.